Are you wondering what premium you should be paying towards your retirement annuity? Or perhaps you're thinking, should you be paying a monthly premium or lump sum? And are you concerned about the costs of a retirement annuity? Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the secrets I've learned to creating the ultimate retirement annuity. So this is going to fine-tune whatever you've learned so far in the series and take this to another level. In fact, my commitment to you is I want to make this to be out of this world. Now, I'm Devon Naika, and I help retirees live the best life possible with the money they have. I get them to a stage where they have financial confidence, that ability to enjoy life without the fear of running out of money. Now, if you're watching this series, my guess is that you want to get yourself to that stage. So let's get started. There are only two ways in which you can structure this retirement annuity from a premium perspective. Let's go and have a look at both of them. The first method is you can structure this as a fixed premium. That means you are making a commitment to the insurance company that you are going to pay a premium, and you're going to pay them on a monthly basis. So this could be recurring, and you can choose the premium that is affordable for you. Usually insurance companies have a minimum that is in place. So you can structure that as a flexible. The second way you can structure this is as a lump sum, meaning you have a pool of money, some capital, and you want to do a lump sum in there. It could be a once-off payment, or it could be lump sums at regular intervals. So let's go and have a look at the differences between the two. The first, when you're paying on a fixed basis, usually you're making some kind of commitment to pay for a certain period. Now that could be a year, it could be up to 10 years, 15 years, could go up to 25 years, depending on the structure that you have and how long you have in place. Now, what I want you to bear in mind here is when you make a commitment to the insurance company, they are expecting that you will pay the premium every single month, meaning they want to make sure that the premiums are coming through here. Now, if you happen to reach a stage where we'll call it X, you're not in a position to afford this. The insurance companies usually have a penalty in place because you're not able to pay for this anymore. You're breaking the agreement, you're breaking the contract. They might have a penalty, and that penalty is to recover some of the costs that they would have earned if you had continued for the full term. So you want to be extremely mindful of this. You want to make sure that this is something that is affordable for you to start, especially at the beginning, and you can afford this in the time to come. That's not a bad thing, because I see this as a way of creating discipline. See, it sort of forces you towards paying for your retirement annuity, which ultimately means you're going to be benefiting more. So if you are stuck having to pay for this, it's a great thing, because at the end, there's only one person benefiting, and that's you. So you want to be mindful in terms of that, the structure. They're expecting premiums to get paid to you on a monthly basis. Now, what happens if you end up with some money? You have a lump sum of money, and you want to now inject that into this retirement annuity. Because you made a commitment to pay monthly, the insurance company can't put that into this pool. So what they would do is start up a separate plan for you. So you'll have plan one, which is for the monthly premiums, and then you'll have plan two, which is for the lump sum. They're not really combined. Not the optimal way to do it, because ideally you want to have both into one as opposed to paying two different sets of costs and all of that. But that's one way to structure it on a fixed basis. The other way that you could structure this is on a lump sum. So you have a lump sum. This could be a once-off investment, or this could be something maybe you might have annually. So you could have your annual bonus and you keep throwing that into a retirement annuity. Now, here's the beauty of this one. When you start here, you don't really have a term that's attached to this, meaning there's no specific time period that you are telling the insurance company you're paying for. And because of that, there's no penalties if you happen to stop making the premiums, because the insurance company knows it's a lump sum. It's either a once-off or annually, but there's no commitment from you to make the payment. It's sort of like an as and when type of structure. You pay when you want to pay. As a result, they can't have any penalties if you happen to stop. Now, what's also very good here is along the way, you could throw in monthly amounts. But the monthly amounts here are completely flexible, meaning think of it like a bank saving. If you have the money, you put it in. If you don't, it's okay. So this type of structure allows you to put in lump sum as well as monthly amounts, all getting thrown into the same pool. Very, very flexible, which is beautiful. Now, I like this particular one because the flexibility. Just the only thing I want you to be very, very cautious about is that flexibility sometimes comes at a bit of a price, because a lot of the control or the discipline falls onto you, meaning you need to make sure that you can keep up with the monthly payments. If you can't and you end up stopping for a long period, then naturally you're not getting the growth. And this is where something like this becomes important. So a lot of this depends on your discipline. If you're finding it a challenge on a discipline perspective, then I would say go this route because it's going to push you to be disciplined. If you have a bit more flexibility, your income, you're working on a commission basis and you can afford to do additional payments, then maybe you are running a business, then maybe this structure is going to work a lot better for you. So now you know both angles and you can see which one is going to be most appropriate. The next thing I want to share with you is what is called, I'll refer to it as premium protection. So premium protection, but this is basically add-ons. It's add-ons that the insurance company provides you with. So what they're saying is, in the event of you being disabled, they can keep paying the premium for you. Now, this works if you have a committed period, right? So if you have this option here, the fixed, then you'll have this ability to take something like this. Now, this is key, so I want you to pay very careful attention. Assuming the term of your policy is 25 years, so you need to make these payments here. Along the way, if you happen to have a permanent disability, now pay attention to the words, permanent disability, meaning you're unable to work. Depends on the type of add-on, but I'm using permanent disability in my example. If you are unable to work permanently, then the insurance company can take over the premiums for you. So they can keep up with the premiums for the remaining term that you've structured. Now, I want you to be extremely mindful here, because what's actually taking place is, if that's your pool, let's just say you're paying 500 Rand towards your policy and you have this disability benefit here, and this is 20 Rands. What I want you to be mindful of is the total premium on your policy is 520. 20 Rands is going, it's a risk benefit. It's not getting added to your savings of your retirement annuity. Meaning at the end of 25 years, if you don't have a disability, you're not getting a lump sum from that 20 Rand. That 20 Rand is lost. You're just collecting those 500 Rands and whatever you've increased it to. So you want to be extremely mindful about this and also analyze your set of circumstances to see the value of the add-on. Is it really valuable? Is it something that can happen to you? You want to determine it from that basis. Also, perhaps you've got other forms of cover, in which case you want to see whether this type of cover is really needed or not. So don't feel the need that you've got to take it because it's an add-on. And I share this in the Life Cover Secrets. Don't buy based on fear. You want to buy based on your need. So that's the next thing I want you to be extremely mindful of. And then it brings me to the costs. Now, from a cost perspective, if you follow the series and you follow the guidance that I've offered you so far, this should not be an issue for you at all, Because inside of the series, I've shifted you from focusing on costs to focusing on value. See? And how do we do it? Well, in your retirement annuity, you're going to have some kind of capital, right? You're either paying monthly or lump sum, but you're building up capital. The only two elements that you want to pay attention to is at the top, wherever the money is invested, you are going to get some kind of return, right? So you're going to be getting some kind of return. And usually you are making some kinds of payment into this. And all of that will lead to this capital growing. The only factor you want to be aware of that brings in a bit of a dip from your investment, not from a market perspective, is what the costs are. Pardon me. So from a cost perspective, The insurance company has to find a way in which they can cover their costs. Remember, you're getting a policy, you have someone who's doing your administration, you're obviously investing this money in some place, so it's not going to be for free, and you've got an advisor. All of these costs come out of the investment. But if you followed what I showed you so far in the series, you'd be able to structure the retirement annuity very well. You can structure your payment plan correctly based on what you've just learned. You can structure the capital correctly, again, based on what you've just learned and what you've learned from the previous series. You know all the benefits that a retirement annuity has to offer you now. The last video that I did for you, I explained to you something critically important, which is how to create an investment strategy. How do you take control of this investment, your retirement annuity, without feeling like investing is a gamble, without taking a chance? You do that properly. Before you invest your money, you're going to know exactly how your investment's going to perform, exactly how this RA is going to perform. You're going to have an idea, right? So remember that before you even sign. So if you know this is the experience that you are getting, I want you to see cost doesn't become a factor now, because already you know you're getting value from your retirement annuity. So cost doesn't play a big role. Where cost becomes something significant is if you started your retirement annuity and you haven't followed the guidance I've offered you here inside the series, then it means you don't have the right investment structure, you don't have the right payment pattern, you might not be invested into the wrong place, other elements might be incorrect, you might be taking more add-ons than what you need to, and then suddenly the growth in your retirement annuity is not what you expected it. And the moment that happens, you're going to start to question these costs because you're going to feel, hey, I'm not getting as much value as I should be getting, which means I'm paying more in fees than I should. You can avoid all of that, again, by following what I've shared with you inside the series. So we can't do away with costs, but I want to shift you from focusing on cost to focusing on value. And again, you follow what I've guided you so far and what's to come inside the series. There's an abundance of value for you here to make sure your RA is growing at an optimal rate. So this is fine-tuning your retirement annuity. I want to hear from you which of these secrets you found to be incredibly compelling. And then also from a payment perspective, share with me which structure you feel is more appropriate. Are you going to be going with something that's fixed? Are you going to be going with lump sum? Or maybe you didn't know this altogether. So post a comment below and look forward to hearing from you. Now, next up, I've got something particularly important inside the video, which is what happens to your retirement annuity in the event of you passing on. This is one of those must-watch videos because you're going to be absolutely amazed, shocked to see the outcome of that one. Now, if you found the video helpful, remember to give me a thumbs up and also to subscribe so that you're able to get the new videos as soon as we put them on. I'll catch you in the next video.